What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode we are concluding the manga Battlefield Record UC0081, The Wrath of Varuna. Last time, Hughes got into the 7th Gundam, but he found it to be sluggish and it brought down his talents. Many want him to change mobile suits, but he keeps pushing forward with the Gundam, and the Invisible Knights took control of a mass driver system. We also flash back to the Battle of Abawaku. This time the Phantom Sweeps team attacks the Invisible Knights at the mass driver system. Erik and Hughes finally face off, and in the past we see how the Invisible Knights joined the Zeon remnants. So let's get into this. The Zeon handles business on the battlefield. Erik's child soldiers begin panicking when they start seeing dead bodies. He tells his men to get back. A gun cannon rushes in and attacks Erik's Gelgoog. He wards it off, but then the Gundam comes on the battlefield. The Gundam attacks Erik and Christo. Luckily, the Zeon rushes in, allowing Erik's men to pull back. Erik tows Christo's busted Zaku. As they return to their ship, the crew has already been informed of Zeon's surrender. After hearing of this, Erik decides to regroup with his people. They don't enact Operation Wrath of Veruna. The Principality has once again become a republic, and Zeon soldiers are to lay down arms. They regroup at the moon. Erik's men don't know what their next move should be. Tatiana is already spying on the Federation at Augusta Labs. They will follow suit and head to Earth. UC0080, January 3rd. The Papua-class ship launches Erik's team down to Earth right as the ship is being intercepted by a Federation Salamis. They drop down onto Africa with plans of meeting up with some remnants nearby. The Invisible Knights have to get moving as a team will search this area soon. Christo is still injured from the attack by the Gundam. They head out in jeeps to search for other Zeon remnants. Some are struggling with the weight of gravity. They reach a bunch of dead ends as they stumble onto a bunch of abandoned bases. The team had to learn to deal with pests for the first time ever. No ants in colonies. What a dream. While they are being chased by a gym, they run into Zeon forces resisting. Erik meets Commander Eichmann, and they commit his forces to Operation Wrath of Veruna. This is when Phylene joins the team as a comms operator. Erik notes that she is trembling. This will be her first time on the front lines and is nervous. Phylene provides intel that Tatiana is safe. She also has data on the 7th Gundam. They start making their way towards North America. He clasps his pendant given by Tatiana. We return to the present where they are prepping the mass driver system. They begin their countdown. Mao briefs the team. They have about 2 hours before launch. Hughes will lead the team. Many hope he doesn't lose his men like in the past. Mao believes they are more than capable. Robert Hartley tries to calm Hughes down by telling him he too lost men during the Battle of Abawaku. We flash back once again to the battle. A Columbus is resupplying a Salamis-class ship when a squad of Grublos come in. The two ships were ripped apart in the process, losing all of his men and his ship. Rob and the other men don't care about his past. They just care about the now. They all salute each other before heading out. At that same time, the Invisible Knights too also make moves. Mao thinks back to the briefing. She tells the team that they can't attack the mass driver system or the facility. They can only target Zeon remnants. Because the base turrets were hijacked, there is only one way that they must approach this mission. Of course, Mao doesn't tell us, the audience, what that is. What a waste of a flashback. The Phantom Sweeps move in. Sure enough, the turrets are being used against them. Kamal gets his leg taken out by the turret while the team moves in and destroys it. That is when Hilda and some of the Invisible Knights team move in. Oh no, the Invisible Knights have the high ground. Bob whips out his heat lance. One Zaku grabs Jamie, and another tries to kill him while held down. Jamie ducks as Bob comes in. He uses his heat lance and makes a Zaku kebab. This G-line assault armor just makes me smile. He, however, misses the cockpit, and the two pilots bail. Meanwhile, a Heat Hawk flies right into the G-line's head. Bob bails out of his mobile suit and is out of the battle. Meanwhile, a Dom loses his arm to the Gundam. He is still protecting Kamal and his legless Jim. The mass driver round is about to fire. They're running out of time. Kamal wants Hughes to go without him. The Dom whips out a heat rod and begins fighting the Gundam. The Gundam bobs and weaves with great speed. Hughes then slices off his other arm. The Dom pilot tells him not to get in the way of the Wrath of Veruna. Hughes puts a beam saber right into the back of the Dom. Rob is on the move when he runs into the two pilots that bailed earlier. He points a gun at the two and tells them to open a direct channel on his comms. The Zeon soldier goes for his gun. Bob tells him not to force his hand. Under 10 minutes to launch. Erik tells Phylene to tell the rest of the team to get out of there. They don't have to die here. He says she is to survive and bear witness to what happens here. Bob tells the 2 Zeon soldiers to get out of here instead of shooting them. The Gundam approaches Erik's Gelgoog. They can't fire on the facility, but they can fire a precision shot at the gates of the mass driver system. They will use this as a last resort. Hughes says that there is no meaning to this fight. Erik says, "How dare you talk down to the wrath of Veruna," and begins attacking. Hughes shoots the Gelgoog shield before he unleashes the beam Naginata. Erik tells him it is ironic that he is striking down the Gundam that Tatiana used. He means Sherry. He tells him to stop because that is what she would have wanted. Erik says that Hughes doesn't even know or understand her. 60 seconds until the mass driver system fires. The 2 mobile suits continue clashing with one another. Erik refers to himself in the third person and constantly says that he will take down Hughes. Oh my god, we get it already. Hughes can sense everything around him. We got ourselves a naked and vulnerable in a cockpit moment. Erik can't get a hit on the Gundam. Hughes then slices off the Gelgoog's hands. He could sense Tatiana on Hughes' side. Erik doesn't get it. He thought the wrath of Veruna was something that she wanted. Hughes leaves him to sulk and rushes towards the mass driver system. The Gundam slashes at the launcher. Mao tells him to stand back. The Thoroughbred fires its megaparticle cannon and hits the mass driver system. So much for doing no damage. However, the launch still goes off. Erik prays that the launch is successful. The captain of the Thoroughbred says that he is going to file a formal complaint against Mao for firing on the mass driver system. She was planning that the whole time. She tells Hughes and his team to pull back. The Phantom Sweep's mission came to a close. Eric Blank was apprehended and charged on multiple acts of terrorism. He has been sentenced to death. Alos of the Invisible Knights spy on Erik as he is being transferred. Mao and Hughes are driving up the coast. It's the early 80s. He's rocking that Top Gun Fetty look from Stardust Memory. Mao mentions that Hugh is actually alive. What? That doesn't make sense. I bet he dies in the video game. They stop at a random location while Mao stays in the car. Hughes goes to find Sherry. He is amazed to find her alive. So, did you just kill your brother on accident? Are we going to address that? The mass driver system's shot was off a single degree. That alone causes the projectile to miss the Earth completely, but it is now in Earth's orbit slowly breaking into pieces. Sherry says now this is the real wrath of Veruna. General Godwin ensures that Sherry will be taken care of. Mao hugs Hughes while the two head back to base. And that will conclude The Wrath of Veruna. But there is an extra chapter, so let's dive into that. Tatiana has changed her name to Sherry and made it to Augusta Labs as a test pilot. She hears word of Zeon's surrender, but she thinks it is all a facade. She is running tests on 7th Gundam. Sherry knows of the White Devil from the 1 Year War, which is the Gundam this is built off of. She runs a mobility test with ease. Later she mentions the balance and maneuverability is off. She thinks of ways that she can improve 7th Gundam, but then realizes she needs to focus on gathering intel for the Invisible Knights. December 26, UC 0079. The Invisible Knights are training before the Battle of Abaoku. Tatiana is still with them. She and Erik are going up against one another. Tatiana tells him that he is formidable, but he leans on his skills too much. It's easy to catch someone like that off guard. The story's over, so it's not foreshadowing. What is this, aftershadowing? Captain Semening used the 7th Gundam with permission from Augusta Labs. She asks if she wants to have a battle in the simulator, but she declined. He then offers her to join in a mission with a special ops unit. Maybe this could give her info on the Invisible Knights. She is in, and the command tower is Mao. She wants to know of the name of this new test pilot. Later, Sherry destroys Semening in a mock battle. Mai thinks she has what it takes to be a part of the Phantom Sweeps team. And that will conclude Mobile Suit Gundam Battlefield Record UC 0081, The Wrath of Veruna. I don't like that essentially Mao is the one to save the day and did the thing they weren't supposed to do. Not a creative ending. However, his comrades, and eventually Sherry, when he learns that she is still alive, helps him realize that he can't live in the past. Having Sherry lived brought back some hope in Hughes. Sucks to be you, Christo. I am curious as to what the game is like. Too bad it hasn't been translated. If anyone has played the game, tell us your opinion down in the comments. But that will do it for now, Newtypes. Remember, sometimes Fetties like Ko will be thrown under the bus for doing nothing wrong, all while Sherry, a Zeon spy, gets taken care of. I guess life isn't fair is the lesson here? Peace.